This is one of the most talked about smartphones of the year, the iQOO 13. It's packing the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite chip at a price point that's going to make a lot of other manufacturers nervous. But is it all about raw power, or has iQOO managed to create something special here? I know you want to find out, and so without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Does the iQOO 13 look as powerful as it is? Well, yes and no. The design is sleek, modern, and unmistakably premium, but it won't exactly turn heads like other smartphones with crazy panel designs. You're looking at a classic glass and metal build that's as polished as it gets. Depending on the variant you choose, you'll either get the anti-fingerprint matte finish or the kind of glossy, glass-backed, action-packed energy of the BMW Legend Edition. There's also the nano gray and a green version that quietly screams class, so the aesthetic options here are diverse and clean. Now, what's so fun and a bit classy is the RGB ring that surrounds the camera module that iQOO calls the Monster Halo. Imagine a multicolor notifier 2.0 for calls, charges, and even in-game moments. And hey, I've got to admit, playing games with this RGB glowing feels like I was piloting a spaceship, and that's super satisfying. That said, it's not the brightest glow, and while cool inside your room, this is almost unnoticeable if you're outdoors. This is a missed opportunity if you ask me, iQOO, but we'll let it slide. However, where iQOO wins big this year is durability. The iQOO 13 is IP68 and 69 certified, meaning this baby can handle a dunk in water, rainstorms, or dust-filled desert dunes without breaking a sweat. And for day-to-day use, the build feels solid at about 210 grams, a little over that. It has some weight to it, but the balance makes it easy to handle. Overall, the design isn't groundbreaking, but it's understated, durable, and sprinkled with thoughtful flair. The display on this thing is a beast. We're talking about a 6.82-inch flat LTPO AMOLED display that's absolutely gorgeous. iQOO could have easily cut corners here and gone with, say, a 1080p panel, but they went all out with a QHD Plus resolution. Now the colors pop and the blacks are deep, and get this, it hits a peak brightness of 4500 nits. I've been using this smartphone outdoors in bright sunlight, and outdoor visibility has never been an issue. Oh, and iQOO has added circular polarization technology to reduce the reflections on this screen, so your eyes won't scream for help after, say, an hour of use. The 144Hz refresh rate makes everything buttery smooth, and thanks to LTPO technology, it can dial things back when you don't need that smoothness to save battery. Watching HDR content on this thing is a treat. The contrast and the color accuracy are spot on. Now, one of the major downsides for this display is the fact that it is protected by its cut sensation alpha glass, which isn't quite as strong as a Gorilla Glass Victus, so while it can handle normal wear and tear, I'll still recommend slapping on a screen protector just in case. Okay, now let's unleash this beast, shall we? Under the hood, the iQOO 13 features Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, and there's no sugarcoating this. The performance is mind-blowing. I mean, we're talking about Qualcomm's latest and greatest, and boy does this deliver. But what's really impressive is how iQOO has managed to tame this beast. Their new vapor chamber cooling system is doing wonders. I've been gaming for hours with this smartphone, and this phone stays noticeably cooler than other elite smartphones I've tested, like the Realme GT 7 Pro. Speaking of gaming, I threw heavy titles and heaters like Genshin Impact and Call of Duty Mobile and cranked them up to the highest settings, that's Ultra, and sat back. I mean, not a single dropped frame. And here's the kicker. You can enable game super resolution and 144Hz frame interpolation to make even older games feel like next-gen smooth. That alone should be illegal. Oh, and there's charge bypass, meaning you can power the processor instead of the battery during intense gameplay, so you get no heat-induced throttling. The battery situation here is quite impressive. Somehow, iQOO has managed to cram a massive 6150 mAh silicon carbon battery into this relatively slim body. In real-world use, I've been consistently getting 8 to 9 hours of screen on time, which is fantastic. Also, when you need to charge this device, the 120 watts charger gets you from 0 to 50% in about 12 minutes, and you should get a full charge in around 30 minutes. That's game-changing speed right there. By the way, if you're loving this video so far, why not hit on the subscribe button and also hit on the like button, as it helps us a bunch. Thank you. Now this is where we need to have an honest conversation. The camera setup looks impressive on paper. You get 3 50 megapixel sensors covering from main, ultra-wide, and telephoto lens. But here's the thing, the main sensor is actually kind of a step down from what we saw on the iQOO 12, and we've also lost the 3x periscope zoom in favor of a 2x telephoto. That said, in good lighting, these cameras can hold their own. The main camera captures nice detailed shots with good dynamic range, great colors, and in fact, I really like what they've done with the contrast and saturation levels with this smartphone this time. The ultra-wide lens gives you that extra flexibility for landscapes and group shots, and amazingly, it tries to really match a consistent color profile when compared to the main camera. With the portrait mode, you get solid shots with good edge detection and natural looking blur. When it comes to the videos, you can record up to 8K at 30 FPS with the rear cameras, and the video is what you'd expect for the price. I actually prefer the 4K resolution on this smartphone, which is comparable to the Realme GT 7 Pro. Night shots are good for what it is. It does a job of cleaning things up and giving you some good night shots, and that's even without the night mode being turned on. I also did notice a little bit of aggressive AI thingy going on with the sky at night, making the skies a little bit too bluish at night. For the front-facing cameras, pictures are quite good with the 32-megapixel sensor. It takes consistent shots that are well detailed, which also translates to the videos for the front-facing camera, and that maxes out at 4K but with no EIS, but I generally like it. As far as the cameras, the iQOO 13 from Vivo is actually quite good, but don't expect this to go toe-to-toe with the ultra-premium flagship devices in challenging lighting conditions. On the software front, iQOO has made some really nice improvements. We're running Android 15 with FunTouch OS 15, and it's cleaner and more refined than ever. They've cut down on the bloatware, which is also appreciated, and they're promising 4 years of OS updates with 5 years of security patches. That's some serious long-term support. They've also packed in some cool AI features, including the circle to search, which lets you instantly search for anything on your screen by just circling it. The gaming features and customization options are extensive too. You can easily dial the experience to exactly how you like it. Here's where things get really interesting. At around $650, depending on your region, the iQOO 13 is positioning itself as the performance value king. You're getting the latest Snapdragon processor, premium build quality with proper water resistance, an excellent display, and a massive battery with crazy fast charging. Yes, the cameras might not be class leading, and you might miss out on wireless charging feature on the smartphone, but what you get in return is arguably the best performance per dollar ratio in early 2025. So, the iQOO 13 is a fascinating device that shows exactly what's possible when a company focuses on performance and core features while making smart compromises. If you're someone who values raw power, gaming capabilities, and battery life over absolute camera supremacy, then this smartphone should definitely be on your radar. It's a power user's dream that won't break the bank. But if you are on the lookout for an alternative device that is as powerful and maybe more stylish, you can check out where I compared this device against the stunning Realme GT 7 Pro here. Catch you in that video. Day.